Happy birthday, Coach Pennington.
Thank you.
Yes, and I wanted to ask mainly about last weekend, especially we have a lot of newcomers coming in running the first outdoor meets. How do you think they did?
Overall, I think we did pretty good. With Maps and Magruder, it was just trying to get them a race in. It wasn't much, of us actually trying to get them anything that was going to be, listed on a performance list or something that sort. But it was more just using it as a practice day, as a high-intensity workout, and that's what they did. They went out there and just had a little fun, and that was our main goal, just to have a little fun with those two guys.
And what about Tredarius Carr and Kiev Harry? They had an amazing performance last
Huge
week.
days for both of those guys. Both are very young. Both are, I think, the future of the NSU Sprints program. They're sitting behind, 4 of their guys that are veterans and pretty good, so their maturity levels, I've noticed, have grown over the course of the year. And both of those guys seem to really start to click right about now, and that's the time of the year I want them to start running fast. So I can abuse those guys a little more because they're young and their bodies are a little bit more fresh. As far as the older guys, we kind of take it meet by meet, and we kind of pick and choose the meets we want to enter those guys in. But as for Kiev and Trey, they're 2 guys that I feel like we can get a lot of workload in, and their bodies can handle it, and that's usually when you come into high school. That's kind of the coaches just throw these kids into events and they just run. So these guys are used to it. And overall, I'm happy with their performance. To open up the meet with a 10.4 and a 10.5 is very impressive with those guys. I don't think that I've had freshmen really ever come in and open up that fast, besides Michael Orkins. I think he ran 10.28 as a freshman his first meet. But it's impressive. I'm very excited for those guys. They have a bright future ahead. They could definitely help us on our relays down the road, and they'll keep getting the experience, keep traveling, and they'll only get better.
What really impressed you, especially about Tredarius Carr and also Kiev Harry? Because Harry, this is actually he's a sophomore, but he ran 10.45, and that's a mark that's 3rd in the nation so far.
Right. It impressed me because I knew he would run pretty fast, and his times are being pretty consistent right now. He was at a school before where he wasn't really recruited, and that his times, didn't really reflect on, I guess, the athlete he could be. His times weren't very consistent. So with him running real consistent times right now is what probably impresses me most. And his work ethic, he's just came out here every day and been a hard worker. He doesn't say much. Everything that happens, he lets happen out on the track. So he's definitely a great addition to the Sprints program. Looks great on the relay. It's going to be hard not to find a place for that guy to run on the relay right now because he's running extremely well. So very happy with Kiev. He's going to keep only getting better and better and better. He comes from a program where there was only probably about 7 track sprinters on their whole team. So with him being surrounded around the group that he's with now, it should be pretty impressive. And with Trey, he just kind of set under a lot of these veteran guys' wings. And he's been pretty impressive, but he's really going to be good in the 200. That's going to be his race. He's going to be more of a 200-meter guy, as where Kiev is more of a 100-meter guy. So they balance each other out well, but Trey should have a pretty good performance this week in the 200.
And since the Texas Relay is coming really soon, and we have TCA Invitational this weekend, will we be putting our strong guys out there, or are we going to be resting a little bit for the Texas Relays?
We're going to open up some guys this week. It won't be in a lot of events, but we'll give them a chance to go out there. Right now we're scheduled to run our 18 4x1, so we'll see how we get through Wednesday or Thursday with practice health issues. And if I feel like we're healthy to go, then that's the 4 we'll put out there. And if we're not healthy, we'll still put out a pretty good relay team that should run much faster than we did at McNeese, as long as we get to stick around. So right now we're not really worried about running extremely fast. It's more worried about on consistency, moving the stick around, working on technique and form. And as we get a little bit later into the season, as Texas Relay a few weeks from now, I would like to really be ready to go. But yeah, those guys will run this week, and they will run some 200s. Michael Magruder will open up this week in the 100 meters. Him and Kiev and Trey will run the 100 and 200. Amir James and Michael Larkins and Desmond Matz will run the 200.
And do you think that since that they really didn't have they have a lot of injuries, especially with Maps, Amir, and also with Micah, how do you think they will be able to bounce back from the injuries in the outdoor season?
I think they're in great shape. I don't think it's a question of their ability or their shape. I think they've practiced and worked through it pretty good. Right now, I think our biggest concentration is just keeping them healthy, which, with keeping them healthy, it's going to be a lot of rest and recovery. So right now, I've been resting and recovering those guys pretty good. We've been doing a lot of strength stuff. We've kind of cut back on their reps and the quantity of workload that they have opposed to what everyone else has. So we kind of modify their workouts to specifically fit their needs. But overall, I think they should be good to go. I think with the week that we have prepared for them, I think they should be pretty fresh coming up to TCU.
Thank you very much, Coach Pennington, and happy birthday again.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.